Okay, so welcome to part 2 of division of polynomials. Now, before we begin the next set, I'm going to back up real quick. We did a little bit of kind of a long division on the last video, but I'm going to actually do a more in detailed long division for you. So let's just do something like 32 divided into, let's say, 4,821. Okay, give you something I know is not going to come out even. Okay, so, and I know that because 32 is even, and this has got a 1 on it, not even. So remember the steps that we do. We want to say, what do I need to multiply 32 by to get 48, or to get as close to 48 as I can, right? And so we know that 32 will only go into 48 one time. And again, that's 32. And remember, the rule is to draw the line and subtract, okay? And I'll have to ask Mrs. Johnson. She told me the other day she had this little quick little cutesy rule about drawing the line and subtracting that the kids liked. I'll have to remember that. But we're just going to subtract. So you get a 6 and 1. And then again, remember, you bring down your next number, and that's a 2. And we say, okay, what are we going to take 32 by, okay, to get as close to 162 as we can? And I'm thinking 5, would that work? So 5 times 32, that would be 10, that's 160, right? And again, then I'm going to subtract, and I have 2 left over, and I bring down the 1, and we only have 21, so can I multiply 32 by something and get 21? And hopefully your answer is no, that does not work on that. So that would be no, there's 0, it'll go 0 times. And again, I could say, okay, well, 32 times 0 is 0, and that's going to leave me still with 21. Now, most of the time you say, okay, well, that's a remainder of 21, R21, and we're not going to write it that way, and it may be written, because I use the worksheet generator, it may be written that way on your answer key, but that's not how you need to write it. How we write it is, we write it as a fraction, and remember that when we do that, and I got that kind of too high, it is 21 over 32. So it would be 150 and 21 over 32. Okay, you always put your remainder over this, and you say, oh, I've never done that before. Well, yeah, you have, because when we say, excuse me, how many times will 2 go into 3? It'll go 1, and then the remainder, which is 1 over 2, right? Okay, same thing. So we're going to follow those exact same steps when we do our long division of polynomials. So if you can keep that in your mind, same steps. So here we go. We are going to take, I'm actually going to kind of come over to the side and make sure I have room. So let me get this rewritten. So that's the first thing you want to do. Now here's a couple of keys to tell you. If there is a missing term, what I mean by that, 3, 2, 1, 0. Nothing's missing. If there is something missing, it works better if you put a 0 to hold the place. In other words, what I mean, if it had just been something like b cubed plus 8b squared plus 58, okay? Then what I would have done is I would have come in when I wrote it and put plus 0v plus 58, okay? Just as a placeholder, okay? So here we go. We're going to write it as a division, and we're going to put our v plus 10 out in front. Now, this one's a little bit different in how you do it, in the fact that you really don't even look at the 10, okay? We're using it, but we're not going to look at it in terms of deciding what to do. We're just going to say, what do I need to multiply v by, okay? So I'm only looking at the v. What do I need to multiply v by to get, v cubed, okay? And hopefully you know that that is v squared. If you don't, okay, we're doing a division. V cubed divided by v would be v squared. So I need to take v squared, that's what I'm going to put here, times v plus 10. Okay, see what I just did there? Let me slide that over just a hair. Didn't put it enough room. So over here, I'm going to take v squared times v plus 10. Okay. And when I multiply it, it goes right here. So v cubed plus 10v squared. Okay, now some of you don't need to write it over to the side. Okay, some of you say, well, I can skip this. Yeah, you can. And if you need to, I mean, if that messes you up, then skip it. But I like it over there so you can see where this v cubed plus 10v squared is coming from. Okay, remember the rule, guys. Now we subtract. Here's a key, and I have kids do this all the time. They want to just put this minus out here in the front, okay? They want to put it right here, and then they want to stop. But remember, it's minus the whole thing, so you've got to distribute that negative through, okay? If you forget that, you're going to screw up that second piece. This should always cancel, always, okay? And so then we're going to take 8v squared minus 10v squared, and I'm going to get a negative 2v squared. And now again, I bring down my next. Okay? So now my question this time is, what do I need to multiply the v by to get the negative 2v squared? Okay? So I would obviously need a negative 2, and I need one more v. So I'm going to take a negative 2v times the v plus 10. So you do multiply it by the whole thing, but I'm just looking at the v to determine what goes up in the dividend, okay, which are not be dividend, whatever that called, divisor, dividend, quotient. What am I thinking? There we go. My brain's kind of foggy. And then distribute, okay. Like you guys, I took too long off a break, I guess, and my brain's not thinking. Okay, and again, remember the rule is to subtract, so that means I've got to change both people's signs. Okay, do you understand why I'm doing that? I'm subtracting, so I'm changing the signs. Okay, and then again, I should have these cancel. And like I said, a lot of times the kids remember the first one because they know that's going to cancel, but they forget the second. Okay, subtract, and I'm going to get 6v plus 58. Now again, my question is, what do I need to multiply the v by to get 6v? Okay, and I just need, in this case, a 6. So it is 6 times v plus 10. So that is 6v plus 60. Now again, I'm going to subtract. Change both signs, those cancel, and I am going to have a negative 2 left over. There's nothing left to bring down, because remember I was bringing those down. There's nothing left. That is my remainder. So again, just like I showed you before, we write that as a fraction. So it is plus a negative 2 over v plus 10. Okay? Now, you could have written that as minus 2 over v plus 10. Either way, okay? But for some kids, they like just putting the plus and leaving the negative in the numerator. Whoops. Okay? That would be your final answer. What that means, obviously, is that v plus 10 is not a factor, okay? Is not a factor of that polynomial. What that's going to mean later on down the road is that it's not an x-intercept. How do we put it all together? It's not an x-intercept. So when I say not a factor, okay, I really mean not an x-intercept. Okay, let's try another one. So here we go. And I'm going to do a plus 7, a cubed plus 15a squared plus 59a plus 12. Okay, so again, what do I need to multiply a by to get a cubed? Hopefully your answer is a squared. I'll do this without writing it out to the side, just in case this helps you. So it's a squared times a plus 7. Distributive property, guys. Again, that distributive property we talked about in one of the last videos. So we've got a cubed plus 7a squared. We are now going to change the signs and subtract. Okay, those are going to cancel, and I now have 8a squared, 15 minus 7. I'm going to bring down the 59. Okay. Now, if you want to try it on your own, stop the video and finish it out on your own, and then see if you can come back and agree with me. That'd be a good plan. Okay, what do I need to multiply a by to get 8a squared? And I would need an 8 and just one a. So again, I'm going to distribute. So that's going to give me 8a squared plus 7 times 8 is 56a. Again, I am going to change my signs. These will again cancel. I've got 59a minus 56, which is 3a. I'm going to bring down the 12. And then what do I need to multiply a by to get 3a? It is a 3. And then I'm going to distribute. So 3a plus 21. I need to change the signs. And guys, do not just say, I'm subtracting in my head. No, change the signs. I want to see that because that's what the rule says. I got 12 minus 21, which is what, a negative 9. So it doesn't go even. It is not a factor. And I take and put it as plus negative 9 over a plus 7. Final answer. Okay? So what do you think about long division?